Hey, hi. So I am on the Oregon coast, and you might be going, Josiah, why are you on the Oregon coast? I thought you were hiking the PCT. So a lot has happened in the last few days, and all of it unplanned. So there are a lot of fires around where I was, and so I actually got stuck. And I think I updated you when I was in California, but I got a hitch from a very nice couple with 4 other hikers to Chico, California. And then from Chico, California, they housed us and fed us for 4 meals, and they housed us for a whole night for free. They just did everything for free, and then drove us another hour the next day to Redding, which is a bigger city, and took us to the airport where we could rent a car together. And so that was just unbelievable. So fun to be there with them. And they were just the nicest people, and that was really cool. And then the other 4 hikers, it was fun getting to know them too. Shout out to Easy Peasy, Mad Max, Miss E, and X-Ray were the 4 hikers that I was with. And that was really fun. We just got to hang out. I watched like 8 hours of Olympics and just didn't walk for a day, which was kind of crazy. And now I'm up on the Oregon coast. So I dropped off 2 of those hikers at I actually rented the car because I'm gonna go the farthest. But I dropped off 2 hikers at Ashland, Oregon, and they're going to hike someplace. I think they're starting near like Crater Lake, and they're gonna hike north from there. Then the 2 other guys decided to just get completely off the PCT. Because they were kind of over the fire thing and having to skip around. And so they're going to hike the Oregon Coast Trail, which follows the Oregon coast. And that looks like a really fun trail. A lot of like walking on either the beach or on a road, or sometimes on trails, but most of the time on the beach, and then sometimes also on road walks to make that work. But yeah, I mean, just being out here, I can see that I hope they have just a wonderful time, because it's really pretty out here. And then now that I have dropped them off at the Oregon coast at I can't remember where I was, but now I'm driving up and going to Portland, and there was like a 10-minute detour where I could follow the Oregon coast for a long time instead of driving back inland and going north to Portland. So I'm following the Oregon coast, and it's really pretty. It's really fun to be out here. I haven't been here in a few years, so really enjoying that. And just kind of like crazy how that works, because I got to do a 4 other hikers and get the rented car. It's like super cheap because we also got to stay for free at just this really nice couple's house, and people are just so nice on the PCT, and it's just so refreshing to be kind of in just like a weird micro culture where everyone's super kind and very helpful for not getting anything in return. So it really is cool. And yeah, I'm just feeling blessed to kind of be doing what I'm doing. My plan is to get to Cascade Locks, which is there's a bridge called Bridge of the Gods that stretches in between Oregon and Washington, I think along where the Hood River goes into the ocean there. And so I am going to cross that bridge and then go north as far as I can get in Washington. Currently there's like a 400 mile stretch that's open in Washington, and by the time you get to the northern border, there's a few fires that are closing the northern section. So I'm going to try to get as far as I can. Then and maybe even while I'm hiking, some other sections will open up. Maybe there'll be more fires and I'll have to get off earlier and not even complete that section. But that's like the longest section anywhere right now, besides in, I think, like SoCal, where there's no fires. And so I'm hopeful that I can get through there and just have a good time on some parts of Washington and see where I go from there. So definitely not really how I planned this stretch of the trip to go, but it's been really fun and really interesting, and just kind of like an adventure. So having a good time, just ate a bunch of ice cream, and now I'm gonna keep on driving north. But I'll update you once when I get to Cascade Locks and start hiking. So you might be able to tell, but I'm in Washington. I made it and dropped off the car. I stayed with some friends last night. Massive shouts to the Pucketts for letting me crash at their place. And so I got like 2 nights in a row on a bed. And Yeah, now I'm back on trail. Had to stop at Hood River, so it actually took me most of the day to get back onto trail. Now I think it's like 5:30 or something, because I lost some stuff, but had to rebuy it. But yeah, now I'm on trail, and I'm so excited to be back out here. And as you can see, just from looking at the trail, it is a lot different in Washington, and it's raining, so that's actually encouraging. Hopefully that puts out, there's a fire that's just south of where I am that's stopping people from going up to Mount Hood that are going Sobo, and so I'm hopeful that that kind of really helps the firefighters and lets that part of the trail open back up, because it'd be a shame to miss Mount Hood and some of the other really cool things in that PCT section. So yeah, I'm for me though, now I get to start walking north through Washington. And when I was planning this trip initially, or thinking about it, the parts I was most excited for were the High Sierra and most of all Washington. And so very excited to be able to be here and get to try to do as many miles as possible. I'm hoping that I can do all of Washington, hoping that some of the fires that are farther north can be contained and put out, I guess. But for right now, I'm just going and seeing how much of Washington I can do before I have to get off. So super looking forward to this section. It's known to be incredibly beautiful. And yeah, also, so far, it's been a lot wetter. Yeah. So Washington is already my favorite state along the PCT, just because there are a bajillion huckleberries everywhere. I think there are also huckleberries in Oregon, but I didn't get to see those yet. So yeah, I might just walk like 5 miles a day, but eat every huckleberry along the trail, and I'd be very happy. So yeah, I might get stopped a lot. Also, at least so far, the clouds have not lifted at all. It's the beginning of the, I guess, like, kind of, or it's my first real day on trail, like for a whole day. And so the clouds are still out there. Haven't gotten like a ton of rain, but definitely a bit. And so my stuff's kind of wet, my feet are wet. So that's nice, because it's not hot at all. And so I'm enjoying that quite a bit. So yeah, Washington, pretty sweet so far. We'll see if it can keep it up. Yay. Last few days have been fun through Washington. Been big enjoying kind of being in like a different area. I'm loving the berries, loving the views of the volcanoes. Today I go into Trout Lake to resupply, and then I get right back out. And this next section is one of the most famous in Washington. I get to see the Goat Rocks, I get to see Mount Adams up close and personal, and so I'm really excited for this upcoming like 70-mile stretch. Then after that, I get a good view of Rainier and drop down to a place that's called Cracker Barrel, but it's spelled differently. It's like not the same place. But I have a package waiting for me there, and I'll just continue on northward and see if any of these fires clear up. But still really enjoying the trail and getting through Washington. Good morning. I am going around Mount Hood, or not Mount Hood, sorry, Mount Adams, and it's really pretty. Last night I got just an incredible view of the mountain from my tent. It was one of my favorite camping spots so far, and now I'm just keeping on going. So yesterday I filled up at Trout Lake and got resupply, which was nice. There's a lot of hikers there. Right now I'm kind of like, I'm in the northbound group who's going north, and then I'm also around a lot of the hikers that are going southbound as well. And so there's just a lot of people a lot of these places, which is fine, but it's different from what a lot of the rest of my trip has been with us just that many people being around. So it was interesting. And then now I go to around Mount Adams, and then I get to a spot called the Goat Rocks Wilderness, which is one of the more famous sections of the trail, just because you get to do like a really cool ridge walk. The mountains are really pretty around in that area, and then also you get a good view of Rainier, apparently. So I'm excited for that. I've never been there, and looking forward to going through, hopefully getting another cool campsite, and then getting another resupply in like 2 days. So there you go. Hiking hack: bagel, Nutella, cream cheese, huckleberries. Massive W. So one of the little tricks I've picked up is that when there's not a lot of flow in the streams, people stick a leaf in the stream. You can see it's like held down by that rock there, and then it'll pop out over little outclay, and then you can like get water into your water bottle really easy. And I think that's just genius. I'm definitely stealing it. Hey, so I'm up here in the Goat Rocks Wilderness, which is one of the most famous sections on the trail, and it is stunning up here. I have just excellent views of Rainier, and there's rock everywhere. Super pretty, and we got lucky. A lot of times there's clouds that come in, and today it's just super clear, incredible views of Rainier, and you can see Helens and Adams, and so it's just a lot of fun up here. I'm gonna go and summit a mountain that's right up this way, called Snoqualmie Mountain, and then hopefully tomorrow get into resupply and keep on rolling from there. But yeah, it's unbelievable up here. It's so pretty. What a blessing to be up here. So I'm up here at Old Snowy Mountain. Got our views of Rainier. Helens is right over there. Then you got Adams sitting up there. Just a beautiful fun little summit here. I don't know. Looks like some of those mountains over that way. A little bit taller. But really one of the tallest mountains in the area. Taller than anything this way until you get to Rainier, probably. So really gorgeous up here. Feeling blessed to be up here doing cool stuff like this. This section of trail is bonkers. It's bananas. Look at this. Just is like way up here on this ridge. Both sides super steep, and you can see like it just follows up to there along that thing, and we just have the craziest views of Rainier over there. It's an unbelievable section. Super, just like look at this, just like whoop, right down a chute down there. Just like, well, okay, we just walk along, no big deal. Crazy views right now. It's pretty epic. This is totally worth the hype. All these glaciers everywhere. There's a lot of snow. There's a lot of water up in these mountains still, which is pretty rad. I'm almost getting to, I think, the high point on this knife's edge. Going to resupply up at White Pass, and the road's closed, which is hilarious. I think it's a fire thing, I'm not entirely sure, but they're having problems delivering packages, and I believe this is why, because there is a road closure. I think you can get to it from the other side, and that guy just drove through, but looks like oncoming traffic is closed, or I don't really know how it works. Maybe you have to have maybe you have to be from the state or something, but kind of goofy. All right, good morning. So this section's been really fun. After getting to what was that pass called? White Pass. I've been hiking up kind of along this big ridge. So you just kind of are but you're just on the border of the Mount Rainier National Park, and sometimes you're in it and then sometimes you're out, but you're basically just on like this ridge that separates the national park from not the national park. And it's really pretty. Sometimes you got great views of Rainier, sometimes you have great views of the other side of the mountain range. So, and also it's not been super buggy. It's been nice. So that's been cool. Also, you can look back where we just hiked and you can see a new fire that just started. And it actually has closed the section that I just hiked, which is nice because, obviously it sucks for anyone else that's hiking. But I'm happy that at least I got to get through that section before it closed. And now it's kind of smoky from, I think that fire is my guess, because it's just kind of south of us. So, but not too bad. It's just, there's just smoke kind of around. But today I think we keep on following this ridge for a little bit. Staying up at like 6,000, 5,000 feet is kind of pretty high for here. And then we'll drop back down, I think later today. And then tomorrow or the day after, I'll get into Snoqualmie Pass, and that'll be my next resupply. I'll hopefully, I think I'll stay the night there, and then get loaded for the last section the last whole section I'll be able to do, which is from Snoqualmie Pass to Stevens Pass. And then after that, a lot of the stuff is closed from fires up farther north, and so I'll just have to see when I get there when we can actually hike. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So far, it's been really fun. So I don't think I mentioned this last time, but I got a trail name, and my trail name is Huckleberry, which makes total sense because these guys were passing me all the time, and they're like, every time I pass you, you're eating huckleberries. And that's why they named me Huckleberry, and that's true. I am probably hiking like 5 miles less a day than I could because there are just huckleberries everywhere. It's awesome, but like, there are so many bushes in Washington. It's not constant, but sometimes, like right now, it's ridiculous. It's like not stopping is really hard for me because it's just like, I'll see a bush and I'll just stop and start picking. And I'm so easily distracted. It's incredible. Washington is phenomenal in that way. Big fan.